Good morning, Mr. Morris.
Yeah, buenos dias, my amigo. Good morning, Juan.
How do you do?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Now you are in Mexico City?
No, I am from Venezuela.
Oh, Venezuela. So you are down in Venezuela. So David is in Mexico City and you're from Venezuela.
Exactamente.
Now, Caracas?
Aunque vivo en Caracas, usualmente desde hace 2 años estoy viviendo en Maracaibo,
Okay.
second city of Venezuela.
Now I gotta put my translation on because I'm not getting too much of that. So this was AI champion. Huh.
¿Hablas algo español?
Yeah, I don't speak Spanish. No español.
Nothing.
I wish. But lately I bought an app called Duolingo. I'm trying to learn it, you know. I spend maybe half hour every day learning. Right now I can say real simple sentences.
Okay. El español hay que aprenderlo como un bebé, como un baby. Es muy complejo, es muy complejo.
No comprende.
Spanish language is very difficult.
Difficult to learn?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I feel I'll make a start. I actually like it, you know. I like learning the language. So let's make an attempt, and maybe one day, if it takes me a year or two, pretty soon I can speak it enough. No, I can understand what you were saying. And now I got to start someplace. You know, I'm never too old to learn new things. Keeps my brain young.
Sí. Yo no hablo inglés porque la pronunciación y escuchar me es difícil, pero puedo escribir y puedo leer completamente.
So yo hablo means I speak Spanish. Yo hablo español means I speak Spanish. Is that what you say?
Sí. Exactamente.
Yeah. No, it's fun. It's good. I like it.
Sí.
So this Friday meeting, what is it about that you fellows are doing? I'm just here as an observer. I will observe today.
Bueno, tratamos de difundir el mensaje que viene de los celestiales a través de ustedes.
Okay.
Buenos días.
Now I just found out how to put my captions on so I can translate what you were saying.
¿Entendió lo que te dije?
I think so.
Hola.
Buenos días, mi amigos.
Buenos días.
Mi hermanos. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
So Juan had said their purpose is to try to get the message out from the heavenly ones.
Good. See.
Yeah.
Morning, Kona.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Buenos días,
Kona. B, a missing face. Oh my gosh. I was going to have to send a welfare check to your country and find out what was going on with you. And you're muted, love.
Oh, right, I
I've
am. Sorry.
missed you.
Oh, sorry. 2 weeks ago, I wasn't feeling well. And then last week, I think I was off. It was my son's birthday week. So, but I'm back now. But tell me what's happened with Mission Urantia. I heard there's been a shakeup.
There has been, but we're 1 minute to our meeting here, so we're not going to
Okay.
take up time with that.
All right.
Soon enough.
Good to see you. Wow.
Jacques.
Hi,
Bonjour.
bonjour, Jacques.
Bonjour, John.
Oh,
Wow.
hello.
Jacques, ¿qué tal?
Hola, Juan. I'm
Hola.
finally in that
Ah.
page where I can see everyone. Okay. Hi,
¿Cómo estás,
John.
Vic?
David has a new backdrop. I love it.
Yeah. Very nice. How's
Stone
your new
masonry.
home? How's your new home, David?
Oh, es
Oh,
un
muy
hotel.
bonito. A hotel.
No estoy-
Hotel.
Oh,
You're traveling, huh? Traveling.
okay, okay.
sí,
Yeah.
estoy de.
Es
en un rato-
muy linda. Es muy linda.
En un rato más salgo a mi ciudad después de una semana de estar de viaje.
Okay.
Pero me da mucho gusto verlos a todos, especialmente a ti, Vi. Mucho gusto.
Marthe.
A hug for you, Vi.
Hi, good afternoon. Good morning.
Buenos días.
Oh,
Buenos
hello.
dias.
Buenos dias. Hello, let me fix my name.
You have a beautiful name, Martha.
Thank you.
Funny.
Which one? The women one.
Sawid. Sawid.
Sawid. We call you Sawid.
They might suit me.
Marta, ya
Sí,
estoy
señor.
haciendo la corrección y la traducción. La traducción que había hecho es totalmente errónea. La de español a inglés, malísimo.
That's what
No era lo que yo estaba diciendo.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
La estoy corrigiendo para enviártela bien, tanto en inglés como en español.
Thank you very much, Juan.
Juan,
Gracias a ti.
Juan, the problem comes from the caption. If the caption is bad, translation is bad.
Sí, son los captions de Zoom, muy malos.
But this time we will experience the AI, David. Huh? You will put in AI conversion this
Have
Zoom.
you
Está
started?
activa.
Oh, good.
It's on.
La inteligencia artificial está activada. Yo voy a pasar como anfitrión a Juan, ¿les parece? Porque debo
Yeah.
de salir de regreso a la Ciudad de México dentro de un rato. No voy a estar con ustedes toda la reunión. Me gustaría solamente dar las gracias a Jacques por este espacio que has permitido, en donde podamos hacerles una presentación de qué es lo que tenemos en mente hacer con Misión Urantia, hacia dónde queremos llevar este proyecto. Y al mismo tiempo tener la oportunidad de presentarles a John Morris, a quien ustedes ya conocen, y quien es una pieza muy importante dentro de todo el proyecto que queremos hacer. Nuestra intención es apoyar al equipo de los viernes. Yo soy un miembro del equipo de los miembros de los viernes. Soy un miembro fundador. Estoy también muy con mucha esperanza de que podamos trabajar en algún momento juntos, como lo he compartido con ustedes. Así que espero que la traducción sea buena para que mis palabras sean comprendidas. Solo quiero agregar que estoy muy complacido de poder estar aquí y cuando Cuando tú desees tomar la facilitación, Jacques, estoy a tus órdenes. Y gracias, John, por estar con nosotros y acompañarnos. Aunque todo el mundo ya te conoce, seguramente yo tenía el deseo de que te conocieran de una forma más íntima, más personal. Muchas
Thank you,
gracias.
David.
Yeah, muchas gracias.
Yes. Yes.
Gracias.
Yes. Welcome. Welcome, John.
Yes.
John,
Yes,
for
thank you.
being with us today. Because you have passed on many good message. Last one from Jesus on the Mission Urantia number 15. I don't know if everybody has read the transcript from James Travis, but that's a good
I have.
input.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good input. If you don't read it, please. Yes, Kona?
Yes, and it's exciting for me because it's the same theme that Donna D'Angelo is getting in her transmissions about it's living the gospel of Jesus and being present in that life. So I just wanted to mention that as well. If you have not listened to Donna's recent transmissions over her prayer calls. So it's very exciting to have two of you getting this message simultaneously on how to live this gospel. So thank you.
Okay, so we are nearly on time. So before we start, I propose 1 minute silence and then followed by a prayer. B, would you like to give the prayer after the 1
Okay.
minute silence? Okay,
Sure.
so we start the silence. Start to relax your body, center your mind, center your heart, and connect all together, one mind, one heart, and one soul, and connecting also with our celestial helpers today. B, you are muted.
Thank you to all celestials for joining us today, all celestials that are loyal to the First Source and Center. We are grateful for your presence and your attention, your guidance. Let us encircuit our thought adjusters as we do our best to perform the will of our Father, the First Source and Center, Christ Michael, Mother Nebuchadnezzar. May we be patient with each other, open-minded, compassionate, understanding, and may we move forward as one entity to serve not only each other, but all our brothers and sisters on Urantia. Thank you for all the blessings and guidance and providence you have offered us. Amen.
Amen.
Amén.
Thank you, B.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you, B.
So, can you see it on your screen?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Maybe reduce a little bit,
Okay.
so,
Okay.
yeah, there we
there
go.
we go.
Perfect.
Better? Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
So, today in the agenda, as per David's suggestion, we'll start by the presentation of the Mission Urantia Business Plan and how we, the Friday team, can eventually get involved and collaborate with them. Point one. Then we'll comment and make our observation. And John, you will speak about being an observer to our group, explain why you are joining today. And then we have a job to do. It's validate the different steps necessary to build up a design team. Each member have already sent their input, not all, but many. They are translated into English and Spanish for the facility of this collaboration. So we'll go there after. So let's start by the Mission Urantia Business Plan and why now the Friday team can be involved. So I don't know who wants to speak first.
That David's presentation.
Okay.
Sí.
And Jacques,
Wait. Oh, yes,
if-
I have to. Yeah. Wait.
if I may,
Voilà.
Jacques, I just
Okay.
want to
Yes.
explain. I have to go fetch my son at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'll leave about 10 to and come back about 5 minutes past. Thanks.
Okay.
Muy bien, entonces empezaremos con la presentación. Marta, como es costumbre, si puedes darle lectura a la
Yep.
presentación y probablemente si la letra es muy pequeña y se te complica, John podría ayudarnos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Kona?
Kona, you have.
I have a large screen if it becomes necessary to help. I have
Yeah.
2 screens and I can split it and I can help read if that's helpful, Martha.
Thank you.
Sure.
Perfect.
Oh, ok, muy bien, Kona, gracias. Entonces, cuando entremos a la letra chiquita, te voy a pedir, Kona, que seas tú quien dé lectura. ¿Ok?
Yeah, just
Muy
let me
bien.
know, Martha.
Yeah, certainly.
Ok, muy bien, pues muchas gracias, amigos míos. Voy a proceder a compartir mi pantalla con ustedes.
Our vision
quieres?
includes a... Shall I start?
Sí,
Our
adelante,
vision,
Marta, gracias.
our vision includes a robust and accessible website filled with links and options that facilitate access to information without restrictions. We want to invite people to discover our approach to planetary management, show them that we have a concrete plan, and demonstrate that it is possible to unite and make decisions based on universal values. How can we launch this message? The new generation of millennials is open and seeking answers. They need a space to find these answers, and we believe they are ready to do so now. But how would you craft this message to young people who are going to have their hands on the levers of power sooner than later, and we won't even be here? What can we do to help them? And it's not beyond this group's ability to consider that it's more important that we get attention, that we get their buy-in, that we get their interest, that we give them something of value, then we do something for ourselves, for our own benefit, to make us feel better about all we've been given, and only speak to the choir. Machiventa Melchizedek.
Personalmente creo que este último párrafo de Machiventa es un párrafo muy profundo y muy importante. Al mismo tiempo es desafiante, porque nos lleva a pensar y a reflexionar no solamente en nosotros y en nuestra comunidad, sino en ir más allá de las fronteras conocidas. Es cómo vamos a expresarnos y hablar en un lenguaje que sea relevante para personas y jóvenes que normalmente no están interesados ni entienden muchas de las cosas que nosotros por fortuna sí comprendemos.
Agenda. 1. Captions adjustments. 2. Oh, is this tonight? Oh, prayer, words of Machiventa. 3. Introduction. 4. Definition. 5. Short, medium, and long-term strategic plan. 6. Immediate actions. 7. How can you participate?
Esta fue la presentación que hace en el mes de mayo, a principios del mes de mayo, realizamos a la mesa directiva de Mission Urantia. Es la presentación tal cual. Esta presentación fue aprobada en ese momento por todos los miembros de la Junta que estaban presentes. Y tal como la presenté, la estoy presentando también a ustedes, queridos amigos. Continuamos.
The first 15 years of the next 400. This presentation marks the beginning of the development of a business plan for a global digital communications platform created to meet the objectives assigned by Machiventa Melchizedek. The purpose of this document is to promote a panoramic vision of the next 15 years, establishing the objectives that we must achieve, as well as the deadlines to achieve them. As this plan progresses and begins to be executed, the blank pages will begin to fill. One of our most important goals is to be able to get closer to the new generations and be able not only to attract them, but also to inspire them to continue with this vision. A significant change is also proposed in the way we manage our activities as a board of directors, recognizing that the main function of the board is to direct and establish strategic direction, without getting involved in daily operations, for which it is essential to design an executive organizational structure capable of operating the following proposed work plan. Jesus desired to be alone, away from everyone, during a time of meditation, to make plans and select procedures for the fulfillment of his public ministry, for the benefit of this world and all the other worlds of his local universe.
Esto significa que Jesús nos estaba enseñando a no solamente tener actividades, sino a planificar estas actividades pensando en alcanzar un propósito.
Day after day, there in the hills, Jesus laid plans for the rest of his bestowal on Urantia. He dedicated himself to planning in detail his program of public efforts for the good of his people, the world, and for the good of all the inhabited worlds of his vast universe. Urantia Book. Definition. Plan. It is a series of organized actions that are carried out to achieve a specific goal. A plan provides a structure and a way forward, helping to set priorities, allocate resources, and manage time effectively. Provides clarity about what should be done, how and when to do it. Purpose. It is the fundamental reason or intention behind any action or set of actions. The purpose provides meaning and direction to our lives. It helps us define our values, set goals that are aligned with those values, and find meaning in our daily activities. The purpose motivates us and gives us a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment when we work towards our goals.
La idea de esta presentación es cómo podemos establecer un propósito que nos integre, que nos una, que nos inspire, y cómo podemos establecer también un plan a largo plazo que de alguna manera nos pueda ir guiando etapa por etapa, por etapa, por etapa. Un plan flexible, pero que al mismo tiempo nos permita tener una visión panorámica de hacia dónde queremos llegar y cuáles son las etapas críticas para lograrlo.
Thank you, Kona. You may take over.
Querida Kona, ¿nos puedes ayudar con la lectura, por favor?
Oh, I
Silenciado.
see. She's just has little help with a little
Kona, estás en mute.
back. Yeah, she's just in a conversation with a little child, I'm sure.
No, sorry, I was moving the screen and talking to you and forgot that I had muted myself because I'm munching on nuts over here. A little snack. Okay. The purpose: show them the way of their own spirituality, revealing to them the great plan of the Universal Father, so that they can contemplate themselves in a way they would never have imagined before. Our 4 pillars include Christ Michael, Nebuchadnezzar, Machiventa, and Manjuransan to lead us to the planet of light and life and the era of light and life.
Kona,
The fundamental,
we-
yes.
may we ask question while keep it at the end?
I think David will take questions best at the end, and some of
Okay.
this will become more, you'll understand as we go. Is that correct, David?
Es correcto. Los invitaría a que tomaran nota porque muchas de las preguntas que pueden salir en esta presentación se van respondiendo a través de la misma.
Okay.
Thank you. So we have the fundamentals. And these are the things that we've experienced: Christ Michael, the correction time, the great universal plan, planetary sustainability, the magisterial mission, sustainable families, the 7 values, conscious contact with spirit, the co-creative design teams, teaching mission, the Urantia book, and safeguarding the celestial archives. Down below, we see we're rebuilding social institutions, which are the sustainable families, education, health and well-being, justice, finance and economics, democracy, and media.
Como ustedes verán, estamos siendo muy ambiciosos, buscando integrar en una planeación a largo plazo todas las tareas importantes que sentimos nos han sido encomendadas en diferentes momentos.
There is a plan. There is a plan whose foundations have been revealed to us over time. Now it is imperative to develop a great communication platform to transmit them and generate the resources we need to achieve it.
Esto significa que tenemos prácticamente toda la información disponible de más de 30 años, de miles de páginas que están esperando ser difundidas, no solamente a los miembros de una comunidad, sino al mundo exterior. Hay decenas de millones de jóvenes que pueden ser impactados y alcanzados con estos mensajes, que necesitan ser expresados y formateados en un lenguaje que ellos puedan entender y comprender. Grandes documentos con valiosa información de los cuales necesitamos extraer perlas de sabiduría para que los jóvenes, la generación de millennials, la generación de Z, pueda tener soluciones que resuelvan sus problemas y que los vayan acercando a una espiritualidad práctica dentro de un idealismo espiritual.
That is the scope of Mission Urantia, their mission and vision. Previously, we had Deborah, Marthe, Vicky, Kona, Byron, Rick, David, and John. And now it is down to Marthe, John, myself, and David. So this will be updated. The Urantia mission, the board of directors should focus on governance, strategic direction, and key decisions, not on daily operations, for which an executive structure is needed that facilitates the implementation of operational decisions and the direct supervision of the company's administration.
Esto significa que una mesa directiva que se reúna 2 veces a la semana o inclusive una vez a la semana es incapaz de llevar a cabo toda esta enorme tarea, por lo cual la creación de una estructura ejecutiva operativa se vuelve muy importante.
The executive structure that we envision is a circular executive structure that focuses on various levels of responsibility rather than vertical hierarchies. The structure promotes autonomy, transparency, and agility in decision-making, enabling a more efficient and rapid response to organizational challenges. We see it as a structure that executes, produces, operates, supervises, and manages. And it facilitates the creation of yoam.life, which is powered by Mission Urantia.
Esto que tenemos en pantalla son los fundamentos. Es una compilación de los asuntos más importantes que Machiventa, Mojoronson, Cristo Miguel, Nevadonia ha compartido y que hemos nosotros de alguna manera puesto en un mosaico con los elementos fundamentales que deberían de estar presentes en esta plataforma. Ahora, ¿cómo lo podemos hacer? Esa es la pregunta. Junio 2024, Kona.
Yes, so for June, we have the creation of the executive structure, and then this is going to be the plan going through December of 2025.
La pregunta es, ¿qué seríamos capaces de lograr en este proceso de tiempo, en esta línea de tiempo?
So the first objective is to create, or the creation of an MVP space, the most viable, minimum viable product is the simplest and most functional version of an idea that can provide value to users and validate the underlying idea of sustainability. And that is yoam.life. Secondly is to capture resources. We will carry out our first fundraising campaign to obtain economic, material, and human resources. After that is multimedia production. We will seek to enrich the user experience by producing dynamic and attractive written and audiovisual content.
Hemos platicado en varias ocasiones de el reto que representa resumir una transcripción cuya lectura toma 1 hora 15 minutos, 1 hora 30 minutos. ¿Cómo hacemos para que en solo 4 o 5 segundos en TikTok una persona pueda sentirse atraída por ese mensaje? Eso es parte de los desafíos de esta nueva plataforma. Desafíos que nos van a permitir conectarnos con personas que en este momento están completamente desvinculadas de esta clase de espiritualidad, pero que eventualmente van a sentirse muy atraídas por lo que podemos nosotros divulgar.
So we want to make a web of networks. We will create a solid and diverse network of contacts that can boost our growth and help us achieve specific goals and objectives.
Esto significa también que no lo queremos hacer solo. Tenemos una enorme cantidad de páginas web que de alguna u otra manera pueden vincularse con nosotros y establecer un mosaico, una sinergia, donde podamos hacer que las aguas circulen y puedan tener en nosotros un apoyo y nosotros también tener un apoyo con ellos.
So these are our first objectives to be done for the first 6 months. We're now into July. So we have been working on creating the executive structure, of course, and David's been working on the MVP. So we want to get at least these things started by the end of this year. That's our target group is a community of light and life and curious eyes. So rather than reach out to the millennials immediately, we desire to reach out to our first community and those who already have some foundation in spirituality. Would you like to say more about that, David or Martha?
Creo que fundamentalmente, como ya dice Kona, no queremos dar el brinco sin prepararnos antes. Queremos estar listos y queremos hacer las dinámicas interacciones de prueba con la comunidad para que a lo largo de este año podamos nosotros experimentar cuáles son las maneras más eficientes en que podemos nosotros generar recursos humanos. Necesitamos gente joven, prácticamente el 90 y tantos % de las personas, si mal no recuerdo, que forman parte de nuestro círculo de seguidores de Misión Urantia tienen arriba de 60 años. Es decir, personas de 60 años en adelante son las que están familiarizadas con todas estas transcripciones. Hay muy pocas personas jóvenes y eso no es una buena noticia. Por lo tanto, tenemos que abrir el compás paulatinamente para nosotros mismos entrenarnos en la mejor manera de comunicarnos con estas nuevas generaciones.
So following this and going into into 2025, we'll begin an advertising campaign. We will implement an attractive campaign aimed at generating awareness, interest, preference, and attraction among the youth target audience. Following that, we will create, measure, and learn. We will implement a continuous learning cycle to adapt to market changes, reduce risk, and maximize the value provided to our users. Then we'll generate traction. We will look for sustained growth in the number of users, revenue, and other key performance indicators, which is in the industry, your CX and UX.
Customer Experience y User Experience son dos de los indicadores más importantes que nos pueden ayudar a medir qué tan eficientes estamos siendo nosotros en capturar a la atención de las personas, en retenerlas y en poder obtener recomendaciones de ellos. Esto es lo que tradicionalmente se conoce como un embudo de ventas en marketing digital.
And by the end of December, we will create the conditions to expand our ability to grow quickly, efficiently, and sustainably. That's starting our escalation. Again, this in 2025, our target group is then the millennial and Generation Z. So we begin in 2024 with our community and Curious Eyes, and we move to the target group of millennials and Generation Z in 2025. Sorry, 2024, 2025. So we're looking at their millennials as being those who are aged 28 to 43 years. And the Generation Z right now, they're 12 to 27 years.
Muy bien, entonces ahí tenemos un gran reto, amigos míos. ¿Cómo traducimos todo esto que de pronto puede ser complejo aún para nosotros, que tenemos años estudiando esto, para mentes frescas? Sin embargo, Cristo Miguel tiene muchas respuestas para esto, junto con Machiventa. Entonces, parte de nuestra respuesta a esta gran pregunta es trabajando, haciendo, experimentando. Eso es lo que queremos hacer, hasta que encontremos ese tono de lenguaje que genere empatía con estas audiencias, que son globales. Estamos hablándole a personas de todo el mundo. Entonces, nuestro sitio, nuestra plataforma debe ser traducida a muchas lenguas para que podamos ser empáticos. El año 1.
So the first year, during the first year, the key goals are focused on validating the communication model, building a user base, and establishing a solid and continuous online presence. 1, value offer validation. In the first year, it is crucial to validate the viability of our service proposal in the market and identify the critical aspects of customer experience and user experience. 2, construction of a user base. We need to focus on attracting users, loyalty programs, participation, and the generation of testimonials and recommendations. 3, establishment of an online presence. It is crucial to establish a solid online presence during the first year, guaranteeing continuity, constant improvement, and continuous updating. And 4, the development of partnerships and strategic alliances. During this year, we will seek to establish relationships with other groups, institutions, companies, and influential people in the community.
Tenemos un año, bueno, lo que resta de este año, para poder establecer estas alianzas estratégicas y poder desarrollar una serie de plataformas que nos permitan proveernos de contenido. Estos contenidos deben ser ejecutados dentro de una filosofía editorial que pueda conectar con estas generaciones. Necesitamos muchas manos a bordo de este barco.
In the second year, the focus shifts towards growth, profitability, scalability, and brand consolidation in the market. 1, our revenue growth and profitability. In the second year, it's crucial to focus on increasing revenues and working towards profitability to ensure long-term sustainability. 2, brand development and reputation. It is of the utmost importance to continue building and strengthening the brand through advertising strategies, social networks, and public relations. 3, innovation and differentiation. It is essential to maintain creative differentiation in the development and design of new products and services. And 4, scalability of the model. During the second year, you must focus on making the entrepreneurship model have all the necessary ingredients to make it scalable.
Recordemos que en una organización digital hay una línea de tiempo donde vas probando que tu oferta de valor tenga una caja de resonancia con el consumidor. Y hay un momento en donde hay un punto de inflexión. Este punto de inflexión es lo que inicia la escalabilidad. Y si en esta línea te veían 10 personas al día, en esta línea te pueden ver 10,000 personas al día. Es cuando la bola de nieve crece, crece, crece y crece y se convierte en una avalancha. Todas las empresas digitales quieren llegar a ese punto. No es una forma fácil para hacerlo, porque estamos en un mercado con mucha incertidumbre y necesitamos mentes que estén preparadas, que puedan sumarse eventualmente en diferentes posiciones dentro de una estructura ejecutiva profesionalizada, pero con un alto sentido de espiritualidad.
So now we're looking at the years 3, 4, and 5. In this period of time, it's a narrow window of opportunity. The most important goals focus on sustainable growth, diversification, expansion, continuous innovation, and a solid position in a mutant market. 1, diversification of products or services. Expand the range of products or services to meet the changing demands of the market and reach new user segment.
¿Podremos ser capaces de generar una aplicación de familias sostenibles? ¿Podríamos generar una aplicación de los 7 valores universales o de un equipo de diseño? ¿Podemos ser capaces de crear estos productos, por llamarlos de alguna manera, productos y o servicios, empaquetarlos de tal manera que puedan ser útiles a la sociedad? A eso nos referimos. Tenemos tiempo para hacer diferentes pruebas, mercados de prueba, ejercicios de prueba, que nos ayuden a poder mejorar y afinar nuestra comunicación, sobre todo en la creación de estos servicios, porque lo que queremos hacer es dar un servicio y a lo mejor nuestros servicios van a estar muy ligados a lo que otros grupos en este momento ya están haciendo.
Number 2, the internationalization or regional expansion. So the third year may be the time to explore opportunities for internationalization or regional expansion with other languages and cultures. Number 3, optimization of processes and operations. As the site grows, it is important to optimize processes and operations to maintain efficiency and profitability. Number 4, talent development and organizational culture. We must develop and retain key talent, as well as foster a solid and value-created culture. Number 5, disruptive innovation. In the fourth year, we must continue to innovate to stay at the forefront and adapt to the changes of an unpredictable market.
Esto es muy interesante porque nosotros debemos de encontrar formas audaces, atrevidas, innovadoras de presentar esta sabiduría a las nuevas generaciones. Lo repito, debemos ser innovadores, creadores. Esto es algo nuevo. Entonces, seamos audaces con estas generaciones, porque si no, simple y sencillamente no vamos a ser capaces de llamar su atención.
So we have 5 years to lay the foundations. We need to be able to attract and train dozens of young people of different nationalities to share the torch with their own generation and beyond.
Estos próximos 5 años deberían de ser un tiempo suficiente, por lo menos para poder integrar dentro de una estructura ejecutiva a un grupo de jóvenes. Y como jóvenes me refiero a personas que puedan tener 45 años, 40, 35 hacia abajo. Es decir, refrescar nuestra comunidad para que podamos tener la posibilidad de heredar este proyecto a generaciones que se hagan cargo en los siguientes años.
So from 2030 to 2080, we may see those cataclysms. In 2040, some of us will no longer be here.
Yo tengo 63 años. ¿Cuánto tiempo espero más vivir aquí? Entonces, estos 63 años, los próximos 10 o 15 años de mi vida, por lo menos, yo quiero estar sumamente enfocado en un gran proyecto, en un gran plan. Yo estoy dispuesto a poner todo lo que yo soy y todo lo que yo tengo en un proyecto de esta naturaleza. Un proyecto que podamos nosotros dejar como una herencia, como un legado.
So the first 15 years of the next 400, we are going to build a legacy for the next generations and to inspire them to take the torch of light and life.
Sería estupendo que nosotros no solamente pensemos en cómo vaciamos lo que hemos recibido, sino que pensemos en algo sustentable. Y eso significa cómo podemos crear una herencia, un legado para estas generaciones.
So for the next 500 years, from survival to contribution to creating the era of light and life. So our actions now include the following. We don't have time to lose. Our energy and efforts are limited. We need to be focused, disciplined, and methodic, with a high sense of resilience to uncertainty. 1, fundraising. Initiate our fundraising activities to generate the economic, material, and human resources needed for the upcoming months of operation. Number 2, a dedicated personnel. Employ full-time and or freelance staff to finalize the minimum viable product, segment the database, and initiate other parallel activities. 3, business organization. Begin the executive structure, establishing organizational foundations on the go without halting operations. Have a board of directors that define the strategic lines for parallel actions, such as document protection, generation of affiliate directories, and fundraising goals, etc. And 5, financial actions. Finalize the budget for the coming months.
Esto que ustedes están viendo se presentó a la mesa directiva de Mission Urantia el 6 de mayo de este año. A partir de ese momento a la fecha han existido una serie de situaciones que explicaremos quizá más adelante, pero fundamentalmente este era el eje de nuestro plan, que también fue complementado con una planificación que realizó Kona, de lo cual si quieres, Kona, podemos platicar más adelante.
Marthe, do you want to continue? You can see this? You have such a beautiful voice. You're muted. You're
That's
still
so
muted.
sweet
There
of
you
you.
are.
Thank you. I'll read until the end and then I have to go fetch my son. But
Sure.
that's so kind of you. We need to build a foundational organizational structure that incorporates the best of technology and secular humanism and aligns it with a spiritual, evolutionary, progressive, idealistic, inspiring, and powerful vision. Our goal in the coming weeks is to gather the necessary resources to establish a basic executive structure that will carry out the initial implementation of the presented plan. To achieve this objective, we will use our website, MVP, as the main attraction tool, in addition to our refined database and a list of major donors as sources of support and funding. I wouldn't ask them to do this if I didn't trust that they can achieve it. Christ Michael. This space has been created to tell you that you are not alone, that this planet is not adrift, that there is an invisible planetary government that for thousands of years has participated in ways you do not understand in the awakening of humanity. We are here to help you establish a deep dialogue with the Creator of all things, the Spirit that dwells within you. We will help you to grow, to understand the universal laws and principles indispensable to sustain your life and to create together a new civilization. We will train your mind and expand your soul so you can join the adventure of knowing the Father, knowing the Son, and discovering the power of the indwelling Spirit to transform your life and transform your world. Machiventa Melchizedek, Planetary Manager of Urantia. yoam.life, powered by Urantia Mission.
Muy bien, amigos. Muchas gracias, Marta. Muchas gracias, Kona. Tienen una voz maravillosa.
De nada.
Bravo.
Muy bien.
Felicitaciones,
Hemos-
David.
I'll be back soon.
Excelente.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you.
I have a
Bien,
question. Oh.
Sí, estamos abriendo la sesión para preguntas y respuestas.
Do you all need to see the presentation again to reference your questions? Would that be helpful?
Yeah, you can show slide by slide the complete slide each time.
David, can we reshare the screen and just start from the beginning and let them pose questions?
Ok,
Thank you.
muy bien. Un momento, por favor.
But don't do the animated slides. Just do the finished slide by slide. It will be quicker.
Yeah.
You did a great job. Wow.
Un momento.
It's a lot of work.
Oh,
Mhm.
and I know. It's very understandable, easy to follow.
That's great.
¿Está bien así?
Yeah.
Muy bien.
For me, the text of the intro till slide 6 is okay. I mean, what you said is okay.
Okay,
B, you have a question before?
Yes,
Another?
I just had my question was I have two questions actually. The first one was just is this the same presentation that was given to the board at Mission Urantia?
yes.
Okay, so it sounds familiar to me. All right.
Mhm.
So I guess, well, okay, my second question was going to be as the minimal viable product, I'm getting that that's a website, right? Is that correct? Is that what the MVP is?
Sí, mínimo producto viable es un concepto que se utiliza dentro de la transformación digital. Y lo que significa es crea un producto o un servicio que implique el menor riesgo y el cual te provea del mayor aprendizaje en el menor tiempo posible. La
Right.
intención es utilizar ese mismo concepto dentro del sitio web para poder hacerlo y probarlo rápidamente.
Okay. Yeah. So the MVP is a business concept, but I'm just saying, in practicality, in our application, it would be a website, correct?
Es correcto.
Okay. And the third question, I guess, since I know that this was presented at Mission Urantia, is how does this business plan fit into what we are going to be doing as a design team? Just the 7 of us, 6 or 7. If John joins us, which would be nice, that would be 7.
Yes, Kona.
Es una pregunta que podemos respondernos más adelante. Creo que cuando ustedes ven esta propuesta en donde necesitamos colaboradores eventualmente en un futuro, creo que el equipo de los viernes puede convertir lo que está siendo capaz de producir, no lo está haciendo exclusivamente para sí mismo, sino eventualmente para poder compartirlo. Cuando llegue el momento que el equipo de los viernes esté listo para empezar a compartir, yoam puede ser una plataforma que permita que eso se comparta, además de otras plataformas que ya están presentes.
Did that make sense to you, B? I can rephrase.
Could you?
Sure.
No sé si lo dije
Okay.
muy bien.
So we as the Friday design team have been, in my estimation, much more productive as a design team, well-formed, we've bonded than even what the Mission Urantia Board has been able to do. And because there are 3 of us that cross over, we were looking for a way to work together. And so this will be, of course, a decision of the Friday team to see how or if they want to participate in this plan and use the design team skills that you've been learning to actually be productive. In other words, be actively in the process of creating something. And so that's what we discussed last Friday. Unfortunately, you weren't here. Is, what is the first thing that we can create? And the first thing that we discussed is a quick guide to the best practices of a design team based on our experiences. Right. So this is an opportunity for us to collaborate and for this design team to actually get experience and use the skills they've learned for practical reasons. And a second thing about your other question, the minimum viable product is a website, but the larger picture of what's being created is a communications platform, which is different than a simple website. And I just wanted to make sure that came across in the presentation. Okay.
So you're thinking of multiple linked websites? In addition to links to social media, in addition to links to other educational resources so it's just basically a web of websites that would have connections to different media, basically, from which we can spread our message, essentially.
Right, for education, for training, for archives, for creating, for innovation. So it's more than an informational site. And what I was thinking about is all of our discussions for Juan, all of our discussions about wiki and the need to have a wiki site, you know, can easily be built into the platform. Those things that, you know, we're trying to house. I was like, oh, this might actually work really well together.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think the wiki is actually a good idea, as long as it's not, like, I don't know how much effort it would take to put for one person to set up this wiki. I mean, if it's not onerous, that would be the best way for us to communicate when we're not online like this.
Right. So that's a side comment. I probably should have saved that for later. I just wanted to make sure that you had the comprehensive picture about the communications platform. All right. Other
Yeah, no, I
questions?
understand it's supposed to evolve, but it's going to
Sure.
start as a basic website, right? And
Correct.
then the goal is to expand from there, depending on what kind of reception we get. And maybe if some new members, so hopefully more people like new Urantia book readers like myself who want to become involved
Right.
and are a little bit on the younger side, just a little.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not that young, but I mean, it would be nice if we had more Juan, you know, like Juan Dario, you know, he's very busy, but he's much younger than any of us. So we need more people like him who are at his age group and, you know, interested in Urantia and interested in social sustainability.
Mhm.
And he's intelligent too. Like, we need people who are educated, dedicated, and motivated. Anyway, those are just all I mean, it's a great presentation. It would be very, very nice if we were able to fulfill all that.
Other questions about the presentation?
Yes. Could you jump on slide 6? Okay. When you discuss you go through this presentation, just one comment for me. Our 4 pillars. You are clear here. It's Christ Michael, Majan Ronson, Machiventa, Nebadonia. I thought about also, because those 4 names are not well known by people we want to attract. But all the celestial agency which are satellite all around these 4 are known by many people, their guardian angel and so on. So personally, I would add also as many satellite, many dots around these 4 people, spiritual agencies. I don't know what you think about.
So I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Are you saying spiritual agencies or other celestials?
Yes, celestials.
Other celestials? Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Because,
Sonjah and others.
yeah, but even
I have a lot. Okay.
without putting names, because Sonjah is known by very few. But if you say angels, seraphim, and all these, because all these, I would say, spirits, entities are working behind the scene with us all the time. And when you say we want to attract people, young generation, when I look at my daughters, they are 40. They don't want to read Urantia book. No, they have seen it, they can read it, but they don't want. However, they always speak about their angel.
The
They speak
angels.
about,
Yeah.
they speak about angels every time. That was my comment here. And after, of course, that was a question raised at the beginning by B. What's happened to the Urantia board, the Urantia mission board? Because why is the defeat? Because this program is wonderful. It's wonderful for life. So I wonder what's happened to them.
David had his hand up in response
Yes.
to your comments about the angels.
Okay, David.
Ok.
Yeah.
Bien. La intención es que este sea un espacio para toda aquella voz celestial que hable verdad, belleza y bondad. Son tantos nuestros amigos celestiales que no podemos poner el nombre de todos dentro de una presentación. Cuando estamos seleccionando a Nevadonia, a Chris Michael, a Machiventa, a Monjoronson, son porque son 4 grandes pilares de los cuales se desprenden muchas voces. La intención es esa, Jack.
Okay. No, I understand. I understand.
Y también sabemos, quiero agregar algo más, también sabemos que los ángeles son un común denominador en prácticamente todas las culturas del mundo. A lo mejor hay culturas que tienen cierta resistencia a hablar de Jesucristo o de Mahoma o de Buda, pero prácticamente hay muchas culturas que están abiertas a hablar de los ángeles. Quiero decir que no tenemos todas las respuestas ni necesitamos todas las respuestas. Esto es un camino que vamos a empezar a aprenderlo sobre la marcha.
So he's speaking Spanish, but translate into English.
Okay, B has her,
Okay, thank you.
Martha's talking to her son, but B has her hand up.
Yeah, me.
You're muted, B. Jacques, can you mute Martha?
Yes, I can. I'll mute myself.
Thanks, Martha.
Okay, I may not have gotten everything that David said in that statement. Could you summarize it?
Sure. So what David is indicating is that the known celestials that we work with are many. But he's also emphasizing the other religious and spiritual practices on the planet also work with celestials and angels and have that platform. So by having our 4 pillars, we're not claiming to know everything, but this is where we are in the process. Did I get that right, David?
Es correcto.
Okay,
Y,
so
adelante.
okay, so my concern, I'll be honest here, my concern with that is that that would be preaching a bit to the choir. And if your ultimate goal is to encourage young people in the age groups that you mentioned, particularly the ones that are still in their formative years and that really have not become jaded by the way the world works, because eventually for a young person, you start off with, dreams of fairness and a good world because those are built into your DNA. But at some point in your childhood development, teenage years, early university, you start to realize that if you don't fall in line with the way the world works, your life is not going to be comfortable. I'm talking about, like, for instance, you have dreams that, the world is going to be a better place and, your children will change the world and everything. But at some point as a parent, or even you realize that you have to work in the system. And there's an age at which point you kind of go, well, I'm not going to change the world, so I'm going to have to work the system if I want my children to be successful. No, I'm serious. Like I've heard my friends say that, right? I've heard my friends say that. It's sort of like, yeah, you know what? It would be nice to have a better world. But the thing is, if I don't help my children take the advantage, they're going to suffer. And, and so therefore my hand is forced to just work the system and be thankful that I'm one of the intelligent ones that knows how to work the system, right? Like, there's that process that you go through that I went through, that I realized, oh, hey, it would be nice if this place were nicer, but that's not realistic. So I have to take steps to protect myself, right? So what you want to be talking to people who are who haven't gotten there yet, right? Who still believe that the world can be changed. You need a huge number of those people. That's where you really, are going to get the momentum for change. So that age group is more scientific and less religious. They're more inclined to spirituality than religion. That's the trend. That's the worldwide trend. So I'm just saying that whatever website we have, we'll have to be able to at least speak to those people as well, not just people who are UB literate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Kona.
Yes, and so two things is that was one of David's points is first the UB community and then outside. And what you're talking about is the perfect opportunity for a design team to help create content for a specific audience.
Okay.
And that's what's necessary. This plan is not saying this is how we are going to present this material. This plan is first showing this is our foundation. These are our 4 pillars. This is not what we are projecting to the outside. This is where we stand, and we intend to develop content that is going to work for those generations. That's precisely what David has presented further down in the presentation. We have to reach those millennials, and the design team is the perfect place to help create the material for those generations. So your point is well made.
Okay, don't know. That makes me feel better because, I mean, right now, the Mission Urantia page, and I don't know what the future of that is, but I have a feeling this Friday team will have something to do with it. Not that I've decided for anyone, I just have the feeling. Anyway, I've lost my point. Never mind. This happens to me all the time. Forget it.
Any other questions?
Next person.
Oh, David.
Yes, David.
Oh, Marta, ¿me podrías ayudar haciéndome un resumen de lo que comentó Vi? Oh.
Martha's not there, but I can tell you briefly. Okay. B is concerned that the message to the millennials was UB based on this diagram. And B wants to make sure that our message is broader than the UB, because the millennials and the younger generations are not necessarily going to be attracted to what we see on the screen right now.
Okay.
And I assured her it's okay.
Ok. Querida Vi, esa preocupación es también mía. Creo que nuestro desafío es cómo podemos extraer de toda esta sabiduría, cómo podemos extraer semillas que podamos sembrar en el corazón de las personas y que las acerquen a su propia espiritualidad. Acercarse de una manera diferente y audaz. Para eso es el mínimo producto viable. En este momento, si tú vas a yoam.life, tú vas a ver un ejercicio preliminar de cómo queremos acercarnos a través del idealismo espiritual. Pero esa pregunta y esa preocupación que tú te haces, también yo la tengo. Pero por fortuna, este es un trabajo co-creativo. Los celestiales no pueden hacerlo sin nosotros. Ellos nos necesitan para poder comunicarse con el resto del mundo. Nosotros los necesitamos para poder articular juntos un mensaje. Por eso este es un trabajo co-creativo, humanos y celestiales. Juntos encontraremos la forma.
You're muted, B. And then Jacques had his hand up.
It's
I
okay for
understood
you,
that.
B? Okay.
I understood that very well. Thank you.
B, just, I think I don't share your view about the young generation. Young generation look for better future, but I think there is two things that will help us a lot. Is first, the celestial have always told us through Nebadonia that what they call celestial agency, seraphim, angels are all behind, putting a lot of pressure on spirituality.
Mhm.
And they will send this very soon, and they start to send this. The second thing is you can see the world around us is just collapsing every day, every time. We see the bad weather condition, we see the democracy, which is not working. So these two items together, this young generation will look for something new. So I am happy that within the 5 years or yes, 5 to 6 years to 2030, we have something ready available to share with them. That's a nice and wise program. And I have a question now to slide 8. Is from where do you said, no, 8.
Ocho?
Oh,
Ocho.
Ocho.
okay. Okay. Okay.
From where do you say cataclysm around 2030 to 2040? Is
80.
it something
80.
80? Is it something that you get through celestial input or just a guess?
Oh, okay. Si mal no recuerdo, es algo que comentó Machiventa a través de Daniel hace algún tiempo. Este es un tema que puede ser debatible, así que podemos simplemente quitar las fechas. Lo que es un hecho es que el mundo se está deteriorando rápidamente, que los problemas climáticos, geológicos, geofísicos, están erosionando en todo el planeta, irrumpiendo en todo el planeta. Entonces, este es, respondiendo a tu pregunta, una especulación personal que puede ser confirmada más adelante. Lo puse con la intención de darnos un deadline, de saber que hay un sentido de urgencia, pero las fechas pueden ser completamente flexibles. No son definitivas, Jacques.
Okay. No, I agree, David, but because I remember for the Urantia book reader, we have been given many dates of cataclysm. That was the problem of the Urantia book foundation, because we provide them with date. So personally today, I will not put date here. I will just say cataclysms are coming without precise date, because they would think, oh, okay, the celestial give us already another date. So that's my comment.
De acuerdo.
Well, other questions? Juan? No? Okay.
You are
Muy
muted,
bien.
Juan.
If there are no other questions, then I can briefly address what happened at Mission Urantia, just so that you're not left in the dark. We have not formed a formal statement yet. Those of us here remaining are in alignment with David's proposal. Subsequent to David's proposal, I formulated with the work of David and John, we sat together and created an executive structure to help implement David's plan, as well as a budget. And the impasse came with, the four of us who believe strongly in the viability of this plan, and the other four who just weren't ready to move forward. They just couldn't find it in their own personal vision to adopt the executive structure and the budget and the proposal and move forward. So there was a lot of dissension, and they decided together to leave and they gave us their blessing. They said, we're not ready to do it, but you're ready to do it. So they gave us their blessing. They said, we're going to step away so that you can wholeheartedly move forward with this plan. And that was pretty much the essence of our meeting last Monday. And then we will be meeting tomorrow to figure out how to move forward with the four of us. And unfortunately, we didn't get that meeting before meeting with you today. So it's a happy, sad thing because we have the energy and the vision to move forward. But it's sad that we couldn't all 8 of us go together into the future with this. That's the short answer.
Thank you, Kona. I remember, and you are well aware, Kona, from the book of Donna Dingillo, The 12 Women Who Loved Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
When they settle themselves their plan for the creation of their movement together, apart from the main apostle, Jesus told them, do something, prepare the plan, do your vision, and come back to me, and I will tell you if there is something to correct or not.
Mm-hmm.
What you have done today is, for me, clearly some time with the Mission Urantia, and John is a TR, where you can ask Machiventa, what you propose, is it the right direction? Because Melchizedek always told us, never forget to ask us if you are going to the wrong direction. It's written many times by Machiventa. I can retrieve the title, the text everywhere. So maybe it's a time. What you are doing for me, I see it very well, timely done. Because even if the collapse starts in 2030 or earlier, or from now to 10 years, there is something to be done for sure. And when you propose that we, as a Friday team, we do the productive part of this CCDT, of this syllabus, of this family learning center, I think this is a good proposal. Yeah, that's my comment anyway.
Thank you for that, Jacques. And, I can't speak for John. He's here. He's our TR for Machiventa, but we have consulted Machiventa throughout this whole process. I'm also confident that David, in creating the proposal, was consulted the Celestials. So I appreciate very much that. The others can speak for themselves, but that has been a priority for us. Especially I know for me.
Yes, John.
John?
I know I'm here as an observer, but I would just add a little something to the comment. Within the 8 people on this board, Machiventa made it very clear through several transmissions that this was something he wanted us to pursue. I mean, he even got very specific about it. And at that point, part of the dissension was then to call into account the viability of these transmissions and myself as a TR. And then that opened up a whole can of worms, and it became very difficult that these people could accept that Machiventa would endorse a specific plan. They had a very hard time with that. But that's not what they do, and they don't do that. And therefore, this is just they, the Celestial. This is just taint coming through me. And so there's no way to reconcile some of this. It just became irreconcilable. Thanks.
That is very unfortunate.
Yeah, but this
I have to say,
also...
I'm disappointed.
Yeah. Yes,
I'm very
Eric.
disappointed.
Quiero Quiero comentar algo antes de irme, porque debo de manejar 5 horas a la Ciudad de México, entonces estoy a punto de retirarme. Nuestros amigos celestiales a través de John nos comunicaron una bella metáfora, muy hermosa. Yo al principio, cuando supe la noticia de esta separación el lunes pasado, al igual que mis compañeros, fue un shock. Yo me sentí consternado. Sin embargo, esta hermosa metáfora que me gustaría que John la comentara acerca de que siempre hay un barco que está esperando cuando nosotros estemos listos. Yo creo que todos nosotros nos hemos acercado a un muelle y hemos caminado muchos kilómetros para llegar a ver un océano donde no hemos incursionado. Hay un océano, un mar delante de nosotros, inexplorado todavía, aún por los mismos celestiales. Aún ellos mismos no saben, pueden preverlo, pero no saben a ciencia cierta todo lo que hay por delante. Entonces estamos embarcándonos en un viaje y siempre habrá un barco esperando a cada uno de nosotros. Hay algunos que van más adelante que nosotros. Hay otros que acabamos de subirnos a este barco y hay otros que estarán esperando en otro momento. Entonces, eso a mí me ayudó mucho en medio de mi tristeza, poder entender que finalmente todos tenemos el mismo destino y seguramente vamos a llegar con bien. John explica mejor esa metáfora que yo mismo, pero creo que si tú lo podrías comentar brevemente, John, creo que es algo que nos da mucha paz a todos nosotros en este momento. Gracias.
Gracias, David. But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I would just say to David before he leave, you remember Machiventa said many times, it's also your spiritual growth. It's your own experience first, through John, many times, through Daniel, through Kona. It's your first experience. And we are testing ourselves against this schism. Just where do we go? Remember the 12 women, even the apostle, when they choose to follow, it was hard for them to follow. Huh? Remember the daughter of the Roman soldier. It was hard for her to follow Jesus because it was its own. So, but I think if we go all within, we have to know where we have to go. The others, you say, will take the next boat. It's not a problem. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. And to be honest, I'm not surprised that the Celestials are approving this plan because it's not really it's more of a conceptual plan. And I don't see anything like wrong with it. It's very general. I mean, for the Celestials to say this is the right direction, they're not giving a whole lot of detail. They're just saying, this is a very broad plan that you've brought forward, David, and it makes a lot of sense. It's a very, I don't know. I guess I'm just saying it doesn't sound like, the Celestials are telling you to do this and then this and then this and then this and then this. Your plan is quite long, quite broad and far-seeing, so I don't see why the Celestials would be against it. And I'm sorry that, John, that people actually questioned your TR, the authenticity. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we all know that this is always going to be a co-creative process, right? So, we have been told time and time again to pass our personal opinions through our thought adjuster first and recognize that any transmission is not going to be like Machiventa said, he's not God, right? He doesn't want us to think that he's God. And I think there was a reason he said that, right? So anyway, I mean, I would never, I don't know. I think it's unfortunate that anyone came out and actually questioned your abilities as a TR, because I just don't think that's appropriate. Anyway.
Yeah, but B, when the first John TRs for the first time, he made a conclusion from Machiventa, say, I give you my peace. And one member of our team, Friday team, told me that's wrong. Machiventa cannot give his peace. It's only Michael. So you need this is typically the peanuts say, it's not good. Where,
Right.
as you know, the difference between John and Kona is she has a library different from John, different from Daniel, different from everybody, and this pop up. But this for me is not a big issue, but for some people it's a quite big issue, and they stop. You have seen in our Friday teams as well, the same thing.
Yeah.
Since Daniel leave, some people don't join.
Right. Well,
Same problem.
well, I think maybe the
It's like-
people like that are left behind, we have a certain ability to open our minds to other ideas, right? I'd like to think that. And if you don't have that ability to open your mind to another idea, if we as UB followers of these transcripts for 30 years, the teaching mission, the correcting time, if we can't get along together and make it work, how do we expect the rest of the world to do it?
That was
Seriously,
said
right?
several times in our last meeting. That was my point. That was Sal's point. If we can't do it, who can, right?
And at that point, maybe, it's time. I know I'm speaking very frankly, but at that time, maybe it's time to take a step back. I mean, I'm saying this in general to everyone, it's time to step back and check your ego, right? And see where and actively see where you can find a bridge that you can, there's always, you have to, you just, it's sort of like put yourself in the middle of the Near East battle, right? How are you going to solve something like that if if you're not willing to come out and try to see things from other people's perspective? Like everybody has to do that, right? We all have to make compromises. We can't have everything go our way all the time, because that's just not going to work with, multiple, more than one person, essentially, right? Anyway.
Yeah, Kona?
John was before me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I think it's important, to keep in mind that what we are responding to here is this pressure of love within our hearts that comes through our Heavenly Father. He fills us with this love, and we look for a way to express it, to help the good, the whole. Not everybody has an imagination that can see outside the Urantia book movement. This training that we're getting here to work in this project is global in aspect.
Yep.
It's across many cultures, races, languages, traditions. So we have to have a big heart, and it takes an open mind to even conceive of something this grand. Then to try and take these spiritual ideas and put them into practical ways to bring this message to a global audience. And so some people within our community are not there yet. They're very much attached to their identities they've created for themselves with the Urantia book and with the teaching mission. And it is something they wear like a badge, and they're proud of it. It's their identity. And what we're asking them to do is to create a new identity that's global. And so if they can't be there yet, if we continue with this metaphor, You know, there are those of us who are, that doesn't make us better. It just makes us ready now to do something.
Mhm.
We're
Mhm.
leaving on this boat. We decided to nail our colors to the mast. And that's a rallying sign to say, those who can agree with this vision, get on board this boat. We're leaving now. We're not waiting for those who need more time. But they're still our brothers and sisters, and they just need time to be right.
Mhm.
We'll do them a great favor if we show any success with this at all, because then we open up a way for them to join us, you know,
Mhm.
and I want them to join us. They have
Yeah.
Mhm.
everything to do with the success of this work, with our success, but they have to do it in their own time. But Jesus didn't wait for his apostles to understand everything that he was trying to teach them before he moved, you know. And so the universe requires us to do something, not just to receive anymore, but to start to try, as imperfect as our understanding is, to do something. So when there is a leader that comes along and he presents us with the clear plan that meets our values, that meets our desire in our hearts to let this energy flow, it's time to get on board. What more do you want? What more do we wait for? So those that are waiting, they got another boat. The Celestials are already provisioning another boat. They already got them lined up. When ours leaves the docks, that boat will come and take its place. Now those people will have to decide again at that point. Are they ready? Some will be, some will not be. And it will be like that forever. But someone has to go first. Someone has to say, I believe enough in the celestial guidance to have faith, to move, to put my foot on the deck of that boat, to cast the rope off, to head out beyond the breakwater into the open seas, and, you know, take our chances. That's what we are. We are that group. And so, as much as I would like to see the whole community get along together, and it will one day,
Mhm.
it's only incumbent upon a group of us to demonstrate. What does this look like when we are really brothers and sisters in Christ, when we are really one in the Spirit, and we can have a bold vision and try to serve our world? Someone has to make that example. Someone has to blaze that trail of light. We've chosen to do that. We volunteered. Now the Celestials have some vehicle in which they can support, because we're moving. And once we are in motion, we can correct course easily. It's very hard to correct course when you're still tied up to the dock. Your hands are tied. So I'm very sad that our brothers and sisters that were in this board with us, that we worked so hard with, could not get on board. But there comes a time when you have to depart. The
Very
train's
well
leaving,
said.
you know, and so, you know, it's new opportunity. And I think that we can gather like-minded and like-hearted people, and we can make this vision happen in one form or another. We absolutely can.
I agree with you. 100%.
Yes.
I
Muy
think
bien.
I can promise you guys, I'm not going to leave this team. I don't care which direction it goes, but I'm not going to leave, right? There's nothing like I've realized that in order for this world to be realigned with the divine plan, I have to, like I brought that Middle East model, or Near East model. I have to be able to see both sides of you know, both perspectives, and no matter how far apart they may seem, you just have to find the commonalities, and the commonalities are those 7 core values, right? So I think, yeah, I think we all have that ability to do that, which is why we're still here, right? Because, you know, naturally, not everyone's going to agree with everything. But I'm glad that this team, you know, we can disagree with one another, each other respectfully. That's very important.
Yes, David.
Bueno, queridos amigos, los voy a dejar para que sigan conversando. Creo que algo que me gustaría compartirles brevemente porque me emociona mucho lo que podemos hacer es pensar que todo lo que tenemos en la mesa y que nos han dado lo podemos compartir, que podemos aprender una nueva forma de hacerlo, que podemos hablar de Cristo Miguel de una manera que nos quite el aliento. Hay muchas cosas en el libro de Urantia que podemos expresar y que la gente está esperando en este momento. Creo que solamente es cuestión de que podamos decodificar los mensajes de la manera adecuada. Y tenemos tiempo para hacerlo. Haciendo, remando, un día a la vez y aprenderemos mucho. Yo los invito a que sigamos con estas reflexiones. Estoy muy feliz de estar con ustedes y si no tienen alguna pregunta en particular para mí, pues básicamente me voy a manejar rumbo a la Ciudad de México.
David, may I ask one thing? Jacques had asked us, sorry, you might have discussed this while I was gone, but Jacques had asked that we speak about the different versions of the design plan steps. Do you have them to share with us?
¿Podrías decírmelo en español? Porque perdí mis
perdón.
subtítulos ahorita.
Sí, perdón. Jacques había preguntado o pedido que nosotros como agenda número 4 podíamos discutir las diferentes etapas del equipo de diseño, lo que nosotros te habíamos mandado. ¿Tú tienes algo para compartir con nosotros o lo haremos sin lo que tú tienes, sin la parte que tú tienes?
Bien, a ver, un momento. Sí, sin la parte que yo tengo, porque como les expliqué en el
No lo
correo,
has.
debido a esto, yo mismo
Sí.
no tuve la oportunidad de hacerlo.
Ok,
Así
perfecto.
que me voy a unir a ustedes en la próxima ocasión
Ok.
y lo complementaré.
Muchas
¿Sí?
gracias. Perfecto.
Muchas gracias a todos.
Que manejes
Amigos,
Bye.
un gran abrazo. Un gran
Bye
abrazo.
bye. Take care.
Have a
Safe
nice
travels.
Yep,
Hasta
safe
Safe
pronto.
travels.
travels. Travel
Safe
mercies.
travels.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
There he goes.
But before we go to this these steps, what is the way forward for the Friday group now? How do you see Marthe or Kona or John? Because next Monday you will have the Mission Urantia Board that you will discuss this separation probably
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh,
And Monday too, but tomorrow and Monday. Mhm.
Yeah. And how can we contribute, like said, B or Juan? I mean, myself, I can contribute to build this, to be productive with our Friday team. And what do you expect else from us?
Well, I think the question goes back to the three of you, B, Juan, and Jacques, because the rest of us are on the board.
Yeah.
And so the question is you've seen David's presentation.
Yeah.
Where do you feel and how do you see yourself fitting in as a design team? Is this something that you want to pursue with the Mission Urantia Board, or do you want to continue separately on Friday's design team? And that's a question for you three to really discern.
I don't know that I have the time to do both. I would love to. At this time, I just don't think I have it. But I want to continue with the Friday team, and I will go with whatever the consensus is.
Yeah, for me, the consensus is to go to this production, to help your team. But you are only left at 4 people now. You are just 4. And I
There's
don't
only
think it,
one less than you started with.
yeah. Yeah, but for 4 people, because there are many items to promote and to develop before even we integrate our production. It's my feeling.
But Jacques, one of the items to be discussed is we add more board members and then who they should be. So that will be discussed tomorrow and
Yeah.
also Monday. So that is on the agenda.
Yeah, that's part of it, is discussing the board members. But as we discussed last Friday too, the uniqueness of Friday's team is you're a quality design team that you know, we've been in training for a while. You've been in training longer than I was. And David needs design teams, more than one design team. David had expressed last week, he needs 10 or 12 design teams working on different facets of, what it is. And so if you want to remain, in the design team process, there's definitely work to be done for a design team. And we can work together and say, okay, design team, this is David can go, I need design team work on this piece of content, or I need design team work on this. And then you can apply practically everything that you've been learning, including using the schematic, how to reach your generations, your different generations, and how to do that productively. And does it, all of those things. So it's not just about, do you want to join the board of Mission Urantia? That doesn't even have to be on the table, but do you want to use this time and space to work with Mission Urantia to help develop content or whatever else? John?
One of the things that Kona and David and I tried to come up with in terms of the executive structure was a structure that was based on the concept of co-creative design teams, that was flexible, not hierarchical. So there's, when you look at Kona's presentation on executive structure, and hopefully you'll get to see that at some point, you'll see that we have many places for people to plug in to whatever level of interest that they have. And so, one of the things in the design team is that because it's a circular form of administration and governance, that there's a really place for people, and whether they want to, sit formally on a board or whether they want to be associated as affiliates and contribute, in their area of passion and expertise, is totally fine. It's all a big community, and we're all working together for. The main thing is we have the same purpose, and that's part of what really drove our board apart. Was they were at cross purposes, and there was individual who had very strong feelings about what he thought his purpose was and what he thought Mission Urantia's purpose should be, and it was a direct conflict with what our purpose was. And so, as long as we shared a vision, how we do that together, we can work out, and it may morph and change as things go along. It will not be written in stone one way. But there's no artificial barriers that we would put up in terms of names or language or how we talk about this community. We all have a function to perform, and we do it, with love and cooperation.
Yes, B?
I think one of our main problems at the current time is lack of people. I mean, I think I mentioned that, we're busy. We have other commitments. We have other responsibilities. We can't do it all. And I think, we have to number one, I think we need more members, more active members. And number two, we need to decide our priorities since the resources at this time are limited. We can't do it all. So we're going to have to focus on something. That's what I think. I think we have been kind of a little bit all over the place in terms of trying to do this, then trying to do that, and trying to do this. It can be a little bit overwhelming.
Yes, Kona, you raise your hand.
Yeah. So my question B, are you talking about members on the design team or members for Mission Urantia Board, or both, or
Both.
what? Both, okay.
Both.
So one of the things in our executive structure for Mission Urantia was we're creating 2 paid positions for people to work full time. And that's part of the solution for the problem that we were facing, which was Mission Urantia was meeting once every 2 weeks. You cannot create the kind of platform that David is trying to create without hiring people. And so if you didn't see that presentation, I can include the presentation for you guys. I can show you the presentation, but then we also created a budget from which to do our fundraising and to, so there's lots of other pieces to this that you haven't seen yet. This proposal from David is simply the first piece that got us started, that we wanted you to be aware of where we're going. So yes, hiring 2 people, and then David and being over the communications platform, and we have built into the budget, he's going to need a webmaster, a social media expert, all of those things. So we know we need more people, and we're working towards bringing more people in, whether they're volunteer or working for the organization, etc. So just so you know that as well.
So the priority right now really is the website.
Correct.
Yeah, as it should be. Yeah.
But yes, John?
So without a minimum viable product, which is a website with a small focused message to generate interest and also funding, the rest of the plan isn't really going to happen.
Exactly.
So we need to focus on that, on the deadlines in his plan, on the timelines, and on the ability to craft a funding proposal, to craft a minimum viable product and get that created, so that then we have something to go to first our community with and say, this is what we're doing. Many people in the community are waiting for it. And I hear it, all the time, when do you have that? I want to share it with my friends. I want, so then we can hopefully get people excited. People will maybe want to participate, and certainly hopefully they will want to start to fund this in a way that allows us to move forward every month. We're not asking someone to plunk down $100,000, but if they would contribute, something $5,000 or $6,000 and get us through a few months, and then reassess if that money was well invested, if we're meeting our goals, and if we have, maybe they'll do it another little bit, and we'll move forward incrementally. But we have to stay focused on, like you said, if we get too unfocused in all these things, we're not going to get any of them done. So the first focus is the minimum viable product, and get that done, and then we see how that works, and then we'll reassess and see where we go from there.
I don't mind if the Friday team, for the time being, until Mission Urantia gets back to its full complement, I wouldn't mind using Friday team time to help out with that website and provide input and ideas.
Well, it would be great if you would critique both this work going forward as well as our organizational structure once you have a chance to look at it according to your understanding of design team criteria and principles, and offer any suggestions that you could see that would help us improve it and align it with these principles. That would be very helpful.
Yes, because I think we can commit today, because we are
Not all of us.
5 years, 5 of us from the Friday,
Okay.
to be this contributor to this Mission Urantia, to start to work and to continue to work now on co-creative design team, on the principles, best practices, and then we can work. And because the time is running and we have to finish, we will not go through the different steps. I propose that I will work with Juan this week to put something in English and in Spanish, all your input together, and then at the next Friday, we will have chosen both Juan and myself, because you are all busy, the best practices steps of design team, if you wish. So that it's so you agree, Juan?
Sí, claro. Claro que sí.
Good. So we have 7 minutes left from from our usual time. We have 2 TRs today. Honor to Kona. I don't know, discuss with John, how do you want to do that? I think it's we had a valuable session, and I would like to hear from our celestial friends, Machiventa or Sonjah or both, if there is something to share.
Sure, and I personally think, you know, they're going to share the same message regardless of the TR at this point. So I don't, whichever. John, tag team, do you want to take a break, or do you want to do a message for the group today?
No, I would love to sit on the receiving end of this once in a while.
I bet. Okay.
So I'm happy if you want to do it, Kona. That would be
Sure.
wonderful.
Sure. All right, let me get grounded here. Hello, Fridays team. This is Sonjah. Thank you for welcoming us into this place. We feel your heartbeats so strongly in unison together, and this makes us so happy here to see the unity of purpose in what you are trying to create. Thank you so much for this. It is a blessing to us to see this progress on this side. We really are quite happy, more than you can imagine. We appreciate so much your continued dedication to the process of learning and experiencing all that is before you, the new, the flexible, the adjustable, those things that you cannot predict, and those things that will transform before your eyes. We are looking forward to working closely with you in this team and on both teams, if you will, if you decide to remain 2 separate teams. Do you have any questions for me today? If you have no questions, I will simply add that we appreciate the presence of another TR here to validate this process, which we so greatly appreciate working with you through mortal co-creative human contact with us. It is a pun quite divine. We do have a sense of humor here too. We're not always serious, although this one Kona will say we are pretty serious. We're not always so serious. So we extend our gratitude towards you and appreciation. We give you blessings as you move forward throughout your day, and I will take my leave. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sonjah.
Son.
Thank you, Kona.
Now,
Sure.
I would say to you as a TR in this process, it now calls me into wanting to share with you more. So I would give you this message I've received. This is from Jesus. My children, do allow yourselves to take a moment and drink deeply from my cup of love. This work that you do can deplete your spiritual energies and exhaust you. Take time to come to me and refresh yourselves with my love. Our Father is a loving creator and would draw all to himself in this love. When you go in partnership with his indwelling spirit, you are aligning yourselves with the forces of the universe. Take time every day to come to him in the stillness of your hearts and drink from this living well of his love vibration. Do this first, and then go forth to spread this benign virus of love all around this world. When you first proposed to walk with me in service to our Father, you must know that this is not a road of ease. In this world, there are many who will oppose you and treat you shamefully. You only offer them your love, yet they treat you with suspicion and scorn. They will not take it lightly when you criticize their status quo of greed and self-seeking. Do not let this discourage you. Do you really think they will treat you better than they did me? But I have prepared the path for you. I have opened a way for you to walk in my shoes. If you will walk in faith and allow yourselves to be led by Spirit, you will do much to uplift this world and bring many souls into alignment with Father's will for them. Do all this in remembrance of me, and when you have finished your mortal career, you will come to me and continue your service together with me to the lover of all that is, our Heavenly Father, our eternal Mother, Son, and Infinite Spirit. All creation shall rejoice at your faith and your steadfastness of purpose. Come, let us commune together and worship our Creator. Be in awe at the isness of all, that it is. We are the recipients of divine love. Let us cheer your hearts and inspire your service. Even so, let it be now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Wow.
Thank you, John.
Yes,
Thanks, John.
yes, and thank you, Kona.
We are very privileged today. Very, very privileged. That's the answer we were waiting. Go
I
ahead
don't
with
care. I
mine.
don't care what people say about me. I just hope I don't have to suffer like Jesus did. I can go anywhere with him except maybe that.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
think
Peter
that-
B.
I don't think the crucifixion is going to be literal in our sense. It'll be more a metaphor for how people reject, our efforts.
That's
Not
okay.
everybody will get on board, but those that are ready will.
But I have heard the answer. Love is the answer.
Love is
Kona.
always the
Always.
answer. Always the answer. Mm.
Okay, thank you very much. So
Thank you.
next week, Juan, we will work on preparing what we have received together to put something in a clear language to share at the next session. Okay for you?
Okay. Sí, sí.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Gracias,
so
Jack.
much to having Kona and John. Wow, very rare.
I hope you join
It's-
us, John. Yeah.
I'm here. I'm willing to be a part of whatever it takes to move this forward.
Yay.
Perfect.
Okay.
And you should be hearing something from the Mission Urantia Board over the weekend in preparation for Monday's meeting too. So we'll meet tomorrow, just so you guys know. I appreciate you guys so much.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Same from you, from us.
Have a great
Thank
week. I will
you.
try to send you something. I'm not quite sure what you're looking for, but I'll
B, I will
I'll-
send you what I have received, and then you can
okay, and it might
elaborate.
guide me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Happy
Bye.
weekend.
Bye.
Thank
you very much.
so
Thank you
much.
all.
Bye-bye.
Gracias.
Take care.
Bye bye.
All right,
Martha,
bye-bye.
¿te puedes quedar
Blessings.
un momento?
Ah, sí, sí, señor.
Ok.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Gracias. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, Juan. ¿Cómo estás, señor? Muy bien, gracias.
Bien, 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 bien. Bien. Y qué sorpresa, ¿eh? Sorpresas nos da la
Sí.
vida, ¿no?
Sí, señor.
Mira, sí, estuve viendo el video, comparándolo con lo que dice y es totalmente erróneo.
Distinto. Por eso es que yo pensé, no podía, yo no tenía
Sí,
tiempo para ver el video.
yo puse en el traductor lo que está en inglés y me quedé,
¿Sí?
y no se veía no decía nada, en
Ah,
absoluto.
no. Sí,
No tenía
sí,
sentido, idea, nada. Bueno,
sí.
entonces lo estoy rehaciendo con el video, estoy rehaciendo el diálogo, lo que dije, y lo voy a traducir al inglés también.
Pero
Dame un
explícame
chance.
cómo lo estás haciendo. Tú estás escuchando el video y
Ajá,
cómo estás escribiendo lo que estás
y-
escuchando.
exactamente.
¡Ah! ¡Qué jurgo de trabajo!
Sí, pero no es tanto, no es tanto. Yo
Mm,
sé que
ok.
lo que pasa es que yo creo que ese trabajo hay que, por lo menos tú me dices, Juan, ayúdame con tradúzcame todo eso al español. Yo te lo traduzco y te lo envío. Y
Muchísimas gracias, pero ¿cómo? A mí me encantaría, porque en este momento Jacques me manda una copia de 23 páginas,
sí,
pero lo que él lo ha acortado de
ujú,
100 páginas.
mira,
Entonces yo trato de editar los 23 páginas, pero es casi imposible
sí, yo
porque el
sé,
español no traduce.
sí, pero eh, si tomamos el video, ¿verdad?
¿Sí? Ok.
El video nos da una transcripción,
Ujú. En
lo más
español
exacta.
y inglés.
Sí, sí, sí. No, no, no yo prefiero llevarlo del lenguaje original, que es el
Ok.
inglés. Yo
Sí,
lo sacaría primero,
sí.
lo perfeccionaría y después sí haría la traducción.
Ok.
Cuando uno le quita las
Ya, sí.
interjecciones,
Ya, ya.
las
Ujú.
repeticiones, o sea
Sí,
que
sí.
eh, ahí sí es perfecto. Yo no sé cómo lo hace tan perfectamente James. James Travis es un maestro en eso.
Sí, sí. Pero
Es
no,
un-
allá no hay español.
no, no, porque nosotros acostumbramos que
No
él
hablan.
hacía la transcripción y él me la enviaba a mí
Sí,
para yo,
a traducirlo, sí.
sí.
Sí,
Una pregunta, y James Travis, ¿en dónde? O sea, yo no comprendo mucho ahorita, ¿no? Porque
sí,
la otra vez me metí en una reunión que me invitaron, porque dice invitado, y entonces me dicen, no, mira, esta es una mesa directiva, una reunión ejecutiva. Ok, ¿te acuerdas que yo entré
sí,
a
pero
una
tú
de esas?
no acudes a los mensajes de Machiventa cada 2 semanas, porque cada
No,
persona puede entrar.
ajá,
Sí,
sí, o sea, son dos reuniones diferentes,
completamente diferente. Un lunes hay board,
ajá,
consejo, y el otro lunes hay Machiventa.
son quincenales.
Sí, quincenales. Y John Travis maneja la parte y John es el... Sí, si quieres, porque yo sé, David no acude a estos, pero
No,
sería maravilloso si tú les escuches, sí.
yo he tratado claro, yo puedo esperar a que me llegue la transcripción, pero sí sería interesante que ellos
Estar,
sientan que sí
sí,
estamos acompañando, que
sí,
sí somos parte, aunque no opinemos, pero sí estamos ahí presentes, estamos
sí,
vivos en eso. Y no se desanimen, porque claro, esta cuestión de que les pasó a ustedes debió haber sido una debacle, ¿no? Está demasiado fuerte para ustedes. Pero yo considero que sí, es cierto que el ego ahí está muy, muy vivo, muy, muy presente. Eh, no se han aprendido todas las lecciones espirituales que con tanto empeño nos han.
sí.
Sí, ¿no?
Pe-
Y
a-
es lastimoso eso.
Al
Da
otro
mucha lástima.
lado, tal vez es posible que ellos sacrificaron sus deseos de participar para hacerlo más fácil para nosotros.
Sí, es posible,
Yo
es
pienso que
posible.
ellos se quitaron porque estaban estorbándonos y ellos
Mm.
decidieron no estorbarnos más
Sí, puede
para
ser
que
también.
nosotros
Sí,
podamos ir más rápido. Eso es
es
lo que
muy
yo
bonito
pienso.
eso.
Era
Uno
muy
de
difícil
eso
para
siempre
ellos.
pensar en lo positivo, no en lo
Ese
negativo.
sí soy yo.
Siempre. No, no, y es una práctica de lo mejor
Mm.
que hay. Siempre pensar en positivo. Aunque las cosas vayan mal, siempre pensar en positivo.
Mi amiga siempre me dicen que yo no veo lo mal. Yo no
Ujú.
veo los problemas. Cuando hay problemas, yo no los veo. Entonces, para algunas personas ese es un fallo, pero a mí me sirve mucho.
Tú no ves problemas, tú ves posibilidades y oportunidades.
Ujú.
Bueno, pensamos parecido, Marta.
Yo sé, señor, yo sé, porque tú siempre también eres muy positivo y la parte que yo sí puedo traducir o editar, tú sí estabas hablando sobre tener que querer al presidente malo de Venezuela también. Sí,
Sí, porque la gente lo odia y le echa pestes,
sí,
pero al echarle pestes estamos contribuyendo con el mal.
exactamente, sí,
Le
exactamente.
estamos sumando energía al mal. En
Sí,
cambio,
hay
que
que
con
darle amor.
una cuestión de perdón,
Perdón y amor, sí,
y
estoy de
de
acuerdo.
comprender que le está haciendo una tarea malísima,
Sí,
una tarea, le dieron una tarea muy, muy, muy fea para representar.
sí,
Y que ojalá que él entienda que lo que está haciendo es algo
sí,
que a lo mejor está por fuera de su misma
sí,
voluntad.
ya.
Pero el hombre es maligno,
Es-
maligno.
yo
Pero
te
vamos a
puedo,
pensar que como somos piezas de ajedrez, cada quien está jugando un rol. Y entonces lo que tenemos que tener más bien un poquito de lástima, compasión por él,
sí,
eh,
sí,
¿verdad? En vez de
¿verdad?
odio, en vez de odio, en vez de... Y sencillamente no nombrarlo, no verlo. Yo no lo veo, no lo nombro, nada. No existe.
Sí, sí. Yo te puedo, ¿se puede parar de recordar en este momento o no?
Sí, yo puedo hacerlo. Ya va, déjame ver.
¿Se puede parar?
Sí,
Es
déjame ver.
en more,
Déjame ver.
en el more,
Ah, aquí,
abajo.
aquí.